welcome to the Wealth Roundtable with Sean and
Dwayne Venable.
And we love to say this, we really like to redefine the meaning of wealth. So for us, wealth is so much more than money and the tangible. That is an important piece of it, but it's truly nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken, being whole from a faith, family, and community standpoint. So you may say tonight looks a little bit different, right? We have a different background. We're typically in our home, but tonight we're in one of our real estate investment properties. So we're just going to chop it up and have a little bit of a conversation while we are on the go.
That's right.
So maybe tonight's edition is about family and business.
Yeah.
Doing life and business together as a married couple. What you think about that?
A little bit of that. We can talk about some of everything because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So.
All right. Well, kick us off tonight.
All right. So we just want to talk, right? Sometimes we do interviews. Sometimes we just talk. Other times we show you properties and we show you things. But we are here in one of our investment properties, and I think I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing and what kind of impact we're having, and what are we really doing this for? What is it really about? So recently a friend of mine lost his grandma. It's a journey that I've been on before, and I wish I could keep him from feeling that and going through that, because I know what that feels like, so. Made me think back a little bit, made me want to think about what are we really doing this for? Because last week I did speak about my grandma and trying to help her along the way and do things, and how she would just give out things that you give her just because that's who she was. And for a long time I thought doing these things were for them so we could give them things and do things like that. But it's all about the legacy, right? So I think they lived for us, and they had a vision, they had a dream for us. And when I go back and I think about it, what did they dream of? And what did they dream for? And how did that change when we came along, right? So I think by us doing what we're doing, and by us just continuing to press on and think about the things they stood for and they were about, it helps us. And I know your grandma, me and her have a little special bond. I can't tell y'all the story, but
Shadow is all I'm gonna say. Our family and friends know what that means.
Yeah. So, but I think that we do this for that legacy. We want to make sure that we represent them well, that we're doing everything that we can do to keep everything that they had going, and till we could. I know you posted a video once. It was I am my ancestors' wildest dream.
Yes.
That was the last frame of that thing, and that's what I think we should be. We should be our ancestors' wildest dreams. What are the things that they dreamed about? When they went to sleep at night and they woke up, wow, I wish that I could do that. And part of doing that is paying it forward for our grandchildren. What the things that we dream of. And I can say that now because I got a grandbaby.
I know. How does it feel to say that? That's the whole situation.
So, yeah, but, just thinking about that, what do I really want for Gabby? Do I want Gabby to grow up and be a doctor and pay me back and buy me cars and all this? No, that's not really what I want. What I want for her is to live her best life and do the things that I could only dream of and imagine from this time frame, So when I think of that, and I think back to what our grandparents must have dreamed about and thought about and was in their wildest dreams. So we got a lot of work to do, right? And we got to pay it forward. We got to keep it going. I said a lot.
You are full tonight.
I said a lot. But, it just really made me think of those things. And, and for people who are going through things, I got to ask the question, how do you do it? How do you cope? What is your coping mechanism? And it's really time. It's just a matter of time. It doesn't get easier. It does get better. Those things, they hit hard, and it's going to take time. There's nothing that you're just going to get over overnight. It's going to take some time to get over. So if you're going through something and you got something on your mind and your heart, just give it time. You know what I mean? So that's all you really need.
Yeah, I love that. I think I ditto all of what you said, and I recently was having a talk, Clubhouse is like my jam a little bit, right? And so I have this room and it's called The Wealth Factor. And I got on and I was like, tag, you're it. And I think a lot of times we're waiting for someone to be the answer. We're waiting for someone to pave the way. We're waiting for someone to be the solution. And oftentimes that solution is you. You are waiting on you.
Yeah.
And somebody has to take that first step to move into the next dimension. So when I think about what we're doing in real estate, what we're doing in business, what we're doing in life, what we're doing with our 9-to-5 corporate athlete mode, it's so much more than just chasing the bag or getting the bag. It's so much more than that. It is truly being a representative in a room that you are privileged and honored to sit at. It's about amplifying your voice. It's about using what you have in your hands, building blocks upon building blocks to make a better tomorrow for somebody else. And I know when we, first started out with our journey, we were very prayerful. And we came to a community in an area that may not have had like a lot of economic growth built up, but somebody has to start there.
Yeah.
And I think about when we bought our very first home, how excited we were to get into a place that was beautiful and get into a place that we loved, and how we can pay it forward and be that for somebody else. And to me, those things are really, really important. What you are doing beyond you to make a difference. And so I'm just thankful that we were chosen for this journey. I'm thankful for all the learning lessons along the way. I also think when you talk about creating legacy, building a legacy, being a blueprint, right?
Yes.
A lot of times people think you have to figure it out. We literally started, 2.5, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And we teach from where we know, because we are further along than someone else, right?
Yeah.
And then we bring in experts for the things that we don't know, because you need to teach from an authentic place. So being that example, being that blueprint, leaving that legacy and letting it far outlive you is something that's so important.
Yeah. So we have tried to pay it forward, and I hope it helped somebody along the way. And I'm not saying that like we're done with it, but because we're not. As we learn, we'll teach. As we grow, we'll sow. So it's just how it works. You can't be the last ear of corn, because then there'll be no more after you. So we gotta take some of that and plant it and let it grow and get some more stalks in the ground. So, but anyway, I just thought it would be a good time to talk about that. And I know Sean's looking at me like she ain't getting a chance to talk.
No, I love it. I love it.
But no, yeah.
What's up? What else is on your mind?
I think that was it though. But I think that was important to get out there, because our legacy is so important, and there was a legacy or somebody who dreamed of something before you. And I just want you to really sit back and think, like, what are you doing to fulfill that legacy or that fantasy that your grandparents had for their grandchildren, like, and their children? And, what are you going to do? What are you going to instill in your children and your children's children? What are you doing to prepare them to leave a legacy on down the road? I think that just really hit one of those things today, and just wanted to talk about it a little bit instead of talking about some of the other things. We usually do an interview. But it's okay. That's okay.
I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
So when you think about legacy and proud moments for us in business, what's one of your proudest moments? I wish we had like cue cards, because I would write down my proudest moment, and I want to see if it matches your proudest moment.
Yeah,
Let's see.
But I mean, just one of my proudest moments was getting started. Right, that was one. Was getting started, getting the business name. Like, I've been thinking about business. So much in the name, and just wanted to get a name for the business and having it established and saying, okay, this is my business, and I can say I'm a business owner. Like that was big for me, right? Because I think that was like one of the biggest moments. I think there were several like cornerstones for our business that I really can mark But I think that was probably one of the biggest and most important steps is just starting. And you did that. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a picture up at the end of his proudest moment. I think it'll be like the ribbon cutting, because that's when it was official.
You know what? That was
Yes.
big. Yes, that was big. Yeah. So yeah, that was the ribbon cut. That was good. Yeah, I think that was
a good
that
moment.
was a big one. Yeah.
My proudest moment in business. Can you guess? Come on now.
when we funded that first house.
No. What is it?
That first house, the biggest moment in business.
Yes, like the proudest moment.
I don't know. I can't think of what would it be.
You really can't. Come on now, Dwayne.
I can't think of it. What is it?
I have $1 million to give you if you can guess this.
I'll be $1 million short tomorrow.
Oh goodness. Okay, so my proudest moment is when we closed on a house and we took Gabby with us.
Oh yeah, when we took Gabby to the
Yes.
closing. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with Gabby, but I couldn't figure out what it would be. But yeah, that was yeah.
That was
another big moment.
That was a proud moment. Or taking our children as we walked through properties, taking DJ, even though DJ didn't want to do it, but taking him through to see and telling him this belongs to you.
Yeah.
This is a part of your family legacy.
Yeah.
And being able to instill that in our children at a young age, that was huge.
Yeah, because you don't know the impact it has on somebody when you're walking through at that age and say, this is your house, this is your house, this is your house, or this is your property, this is your, to make that feel normal. Because like a lot of things in life that we came along and we walked through as a couple, even as a young couple, that I never thought about it. I never thought it would happen. I never thought it applied to me. I never thought that these things were things that I could accomplish. Like I didn't even think it, didn't really dream, didn't even think about it like that. We all have our moments, but our aha moments, but once you get that moment and then your eyes open up and the sky becomes a limit, it makes a difference.
So you mean he's checking to see if somebody can pull it up?
I heard a horn blow out there. Make sure
So I like what you're saying, normalizing that wealth is something internally and from a tangible standpoint that belongs to you and your children and your children's children. And we often like to ask, what purpose will your money serve? Is it you're going to obtain it so that you can go out and be a blessing to the world and be a blessing to your family and blessing to generations and blessings to communities? Or are you going to, operate in a scarcity mindset and it's just give me, and then you don't have an opportunity to grow? Now I got to give a shout out to Pastor Neil and Bishop Ward. I believe they said in a sermon one time that God will give you the blessing and place it in your hand. It'll be dispersed out and then it comes back to you. So it's a currency in the flow, and I do love that.
Yeah.
All right, I do have to ask you this question before we sign off, because we're getting ready to sign off.
Okay.
And we may walk a little bit so you can see progress before and after too.
Okay.
A lot of people ask us, how do we do life and business? Wait a minute, why'd you roll your eyes?
Did y'all
see him roll his eyes?
I just closed them. That is a question.
Did you close them because you love me, or you closed them because it's... Oh my
I closed
goodness.
them. I closed them because
because you love me.
I closed them because I got asked that question today. That's why.
Did you really?
I did.
What was your answer? It needs to be good.
You just have to
It needs to be
find
good.
your lane and stay in it.
Wait a minute. How did this question come up? I'm curious.
I'm always talking about business. This is a business. Nobody promotes your business more than you.
Okay.
Nobody should promote your business more than you.
You heard it from Dwayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you're not promoting your own business. I don't know what's wrong.
Okay.
Promote your business.
Okay. So promote your business now. Life and business.
Yeah. So it's perspective, right? You gotta find your lane. Know where you fit. If you can't paint, don't think you're gonna go be a painter. If she paints better than me, I'm gonna let her paint. There's no point in me messing it up and then she have to come back and redo it. if you're not good with paperwork, don't mess it up because it's just gonna have to be redone. I'm okay with paperwork, but she's a lot better.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you know your zone of genius and my zone of genius?
I do know my.
Okay, so what's your zone?
My zone.
Life and Business 101.
My zone is the physical stuff. My zone is understanding what needs to be done in the house, understanding the cost behind it. My zone is understanding the tedious little tiny little things and little steps that need to be taken to get us from close to listing, as far as the house being done. What are we looking for? What are we gonna pass or fail in the inspection? So, I mean, that's my zone, and figuring out how that needs to be done and affordable. What's a good rate?
Wait a minute, I am the budgetnista. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know, yeah, I'll give you a little bit of that.
Yeah, so figuring out what's the best value. What's always the cheapest is not always the best.
Okay, so you
finding the value problem. What's your value? So your value is on there. So that's my zone.
Okay.
What's your zone?
What is my zone?
So
I mean, because you want to roll tonight. This is good to me.
So Sean is very good at reviewing documents, preparing documents, getting all the signatures, making sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, making sure that we are within our percent, our 70%.
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost? Is it necessary? Staying on task and keeping us on budget. We go back and forth with that. That's where our zones kind of cross a little bit, that budget versus necessity value. Yeah, so we have to cross there. But usually when it comes to submitting documents, submitting draws, submitting those things, reviewing documents, making sure our statements are correct and understanding them to the T and what you do. You do a better job of that than me. I guess I gotta admit that. So, but that don't mean I don't review them, because I do.
He does. And I think another zone of genius for you is like connection. Dwayne does not meet strangers. Like, I don't know how he meets, who he meets, but what I will say is what works for you, leverage your gift, because it will definitely make room for you, because it has made room for us.
Yes.
Yes.
Why you say I don't meet strangers? What does that mean?
He does not meet strangers. You're not a stranger tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do bump into people. I ask questions. Like if I see a shirt with logo on it, I want to know what it means. I'm not going to ask everybody else around you. I'm going to ask you, what is that? What does it mean? What do you do? How does it work? Is it hard to do? Is it something you've been doing for a long time? Who else does it? Like, do you have a whole crew? Is it something else you do? What else you know how to do? Can you get,
You serious, aren't
yeah,
you?
that's what I do.
That's
and so I do meet a lot of people. I think it's funny because now somebody said, what they say about me? I know a guy.
Yeah, Dwayne knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy.
Everybody
and
knows
a girl.
Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yes.
But yeah, I know. I do. I know somebody that kind of does a little bit of everything just because I ask the questions, right? When they come around and if they doing something that I'm interested in, or if I find it interesting, I just ask the question, and it sparks conversation. Sometimes builds a relationship. Sometimes it's just that question.
All right, well, you've heard it here. Connections are important.
Yes.
Promote your business like nobody's business. Legacy and purpose are important. Normalize walking that wealthy life, talking that wealthy life, and operating your zones of genius, and understand value versus budget.
Yes.
And when you need to move, it's going to give you the most value. What else? And it's easy being married to me.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
That's so funny. Oh, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm getting ready to flip the camera. I'm going to walk through, or allow Dwayne to walk through, so you can see some of the after. We purchased this house and been working on it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks.
Between 6 and 8 weeks. purchased it. This was like a full renovation. We did have a little bit of a conversation, not an argument, but a conversation around value. Dwayne got to knock out his first wall, so I'm really excited about that. And then at the end, we will tag on a video so you can see some of the before. We are excited about this, and this is why we do what we do. All right, we're gonna be turning the camera over, flipping soon, and I'll see you in a second.
All right, so here we are. We're gonna walk through this project. We're gonna make it quick though because it's already dark outside and it's time to go home. But here we are. So let's take a walk. So this is, well, it used to be like a carport. So they closed it in before we bought it. But one of the problems that we had is, if you see this thing right here, this is, this used to be a meter, and I was looking for the meter to make sure we didn't lose it, but that used to be the meter for the house. The problem with that is it's electrical, and that cannot be inside of the property. So we had to get it relocated to the outside. That was not in our budget. This is one of those things that where the value of versus budget come in hand, because you gotta have that done, otherwise you don't get lights. So there you go. Well, we did the floors, we did the wall ceiling and the paint in here.
And that used to be a door, actually, right?
And then yes, and actually there was a door here that led into the kitchen, and we'll talk about that on the other side. But the door was here, went into the kitchen. And they had also a door here that led to the living room. So when you come here though, so there was a bit of a step there, so we had to adjust that. But yeah, so come on in. So when we get in the living room, there was only one light in here, which made it pretty dim. So we had a couple of recessed lights. They're LEDs, and actually the fun thing about those is you can change the color of the lights. But I didn't say that. So here you go. This is where Sean is so proud of me because she loved it when I get what I want. But since she's on the other side of the camera, she can't say anything different. But anyway, this is where my wall was. Like there was a wall here. They used to come out here and elbow over here because this used to be the washroom at one point in time. But they got rid of the washroom and put it over there. And so there was not really a need for that wall to be there. So we took that wall down, and here we are, all open and fresh. And we still got a little work to do. We got to finish up this side on this cabinet. We got new cabinet doors, new fixtures. We put this cabinet here because the wall's not there anymore. We can have a little bit more storage space. So we got a cabinet here. We put granite countertops because, I mean, just in this area, you know, this is a nice area, so I think we should go with the granite countertops. There was an extra cabinet here, but we just, I mean, it just made this walkway so narrow, so we took it in, so that's why you see this brown here, but we're gonna fix that too. It's gonna be real nice. Actually, you can see even where we've left space to drop something in there, but anyway, that's that. Did add a little bit of a backsplash. We added this mantle to the fireplace, and I don't want to touch it because I'm not sure if it's secured all the way yet, but added that mantle there on the fireplace to make it give it a little bit more pizzazz. But the walls are textured, the paneling, so we just left it. Not the old school flat paneling, it's a nice groove wood, solid panel. So, come on back. I won't go in there because I can tell that, well, one, we don't have lights in there yet, but we got the tile going down in there. That's the bathroom. We won't go in there. So we come in here. Like I said, painting, doors, knobs and hinges go a long way, you know. The closets were plain, but we wanted to add a little bit to it, so we made them a little fancy. You know, added a little storage space in there, a few steps and stuff like that, put things. We had a curtain rod and a few other things, and that'll be it. Yeah. So we did those. It's our closet. But here is another space where we had a door. It was kind of odd that they had a door in this bedroom that led into the other bedroom. Had that been a bathroom between, they would have left it, but since it's just a door into the bedroom, we closed it off. From one bedroom to the other bedroom. Just a storage closet. Nice hallway. I like the chair rails and the panel, so we like it. You come on in here. We have another bedroom. This is the bedroom where we have that door going between the bedrooms. So this is the other side of that bedroom door. So we'll walk right into this bedroom. I guess, I don't know what the purpose of it was, but I didn't really like it. But, so we're done with it. Same thing though. You know what? Let's go back a little bit. I forgot to open and show you. Damn. More short space for the closet. So, one of the things in these houses is that a lot of these houses we get, they have hardwood floor. So under this floor is hardwood floor, but it's just made it much better looking for me and a lot easier for us to get this done and just make it uniform all the way through. Not as cheap, but it looks better. I think it works better. This bathroom really didn't need a lot, just really needed to be clean, and that's it. Still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this accordion door, but yeah, it just needs to be clean. Other than that, we're good to go in the bathroom. Didn't really need a lot. This, another closet, but this is a master bedroom, so same thing here. It's got some little shoe rack, and we'll have some poles in there for hanging clothes. And then we have another closet over here. So, horseshoe racks and hat racks, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do with it. Different sizes.
So Dwayne, I know I'm behind the camera, but when do you anticipate this house being ready to put on the market for a lovely family?
So, I mean, we are really close with this house. There are only a few little things that need to be done. I think end of the week we should be ready to list. I think this house should be done. The only thing that may take us some time is the bathroom, and it's already tiled up. We just need to put the grout in and the vanity light fixture, and that's it. And the toilet, and we're good to go. So probably about next week. Well, it's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. No, it's been fun. I'll see y'all later next time.